So here we go with the next Gintama, and yes, we're skipping a theme song again. Excellent. So we're after the theme song. Okita's sister, Mitsuba, falls ill right before her marriage to Kuraba. Probably the best choice is to fall ill. If I had to choose, it's what I would do. Okita only wishes for his sister's remaining days to be happy, but the cold-hearted Jakata will have none of that. So, guess you're just going to have to kill him. Which is what you've been wanting to do all this time, so. He is pissed. That is. The look. We already knew he was homicidal. Sociopathic homicidal maniac. Now he. Now he's also motivated. He's a motivated sociopathic homicidal maniac. Not good. I wouldn't want to be on his radar. That's for goddamn sure. All right, we're at the 137 mark, and we're going on one. Three, two, one. Well, that sucks. Yeah, probably not for the best. Yeah, I'm sure it means nothing. Nurses fluttering flowers. Boy, that's not good. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is pervert. And it's probably that censored, crappy ass censored Japanese porn, right? Ugh. If you're gonna do it, do it. Don't be censoring the shit. God damn. I see your point. Jesus Christ. Idiots. Yep. If they had looked back, it would have been better. Nice transition, by the way. I agree. You're what we used to call Delulu. You're dead as hell. What are you talking about? But you haven't found happiness, though. Yeah, that's not good. Nobody's okay with that. At least, Hidekata, or whatever his name is, isn't good with it. You mind if I cough up some blood? It's a really massive cliche slash stereotype slash trope. Like I said, I mean, nothing says I'm about to die like coughing up blood. That's the only thing we know, right? I prefer the fainting. Yep, dead as hell. I'm out here grinding, man. Get off my ass. Yeah. She'll probably be dead before, she finds out about this shit anyway, man. So it's fine, right? Shut up and follow orders. He ain't trying to hear none of this shit. I'm gonna stomp my boot in your face. Yeah, that is something I will never forgive. Better not have. You're gonna snitch, aren't you? You gonna do it by himself? They're never gonna let that happen. They love him too much. He gonna snitch for his own benefit. Like, uh, look, man, let me be psychotic by myself. Sure it is. He's sleeping good as hell, man. He always loses. You're not the boss of me. I'm going to talk about whatever the hell I want. He's awesome. Yeah, I guess I made up my mind. I'm going to kill him. Like you would be okay if he showed up here. That's an order. That's an order. This is terrible. You're going to snitch. I knew it. Snitch. He's going by himself. He's going to try to arrest the entire mafia by himself. Dumb ass. Gintaka's going to be here too, of course. Oh, yep. Because he was there sleeping, so he's going to overhear that shit they said. It's going to go hard for you. Illegal dealings with Ronin. I'd like to hear more about that. Yeah. I hesitated for a whole half a second. Yeah, no shit. The shoe is definitely on the other foot. I mean, we knew this was gonna happen, right? I just did say something. Yeah. Like he's literally in the process of snitching. You're asking why he didn't snitch. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, he sure did. He's crazy. Whatever you do is up to you. He doesn't get to die by the mafia. You just told me to go get some rest. You ordered me to go get some rest. Yeah. Get your goddamn hands off me. I love this character so much. Yeah, no shit. Nobody thinks you're pure, man. You're evil as hell. And we all know it. Because you are. That's that predator brain. Yo, damn. Holy shit. God damn, he got the shit knocked out of him. You said too much. Yeah. Holy shit. Look at his hand. Did that damage to his hand just happen from hitting you? God damn. Jesus. Holy shit. He had to break out the flames, man. You're a psycho. You're just gonna make your hand hurt. I want this psycho with me. He can fight, even though he keeps getting his ass kicked. Dude, you've been astray this entire series, man. We remember those episodes. At least you guys do. Holy shit. Of course he's going to bring out a bazooka. God damn. He's about that business. Was he doing the Zorro thing? I think he was. Holy shit, man. He's going full John McClane. Who'd you take, by the way? John McClane or John Wick? I don't think John Rambo compares, right? Because he's only in a few movies, but fewer than John Wick anyway. Actually, I think they're probably. I think anybody's capable of falling in love with an asshole. We've seen it too many times, man. Anybody's capable of that. Yep, I hate that so much. Meanwhile, Jin's like sleeping. He ain't hearing none of this shit. I thought he was gonna hear that old boy's in trouble and go with him and help. But no, this is not his episode, man. He's asleep, man. What are you talking about? You're gonna get your ass kicked by your boss, who told you not to come. Yeah, let's see. You should have slept. Kept sleeping. But then you're gonna owe him. It's makeup. Yeah. Well, he tells the truth, unlike the other asshole. I like the voiceover actor for Akita as well. That's right. Keep killing these mugs. Kill them all. We won't even let God sort them out. We're just gonna kill them all. He is tearing their asses up, boy. Yeah. And he has a loyal following who will be showing up here anytime. Yeah, exactly. Yep, keep believing that shit. Because he's just, look at the guys just waiting for him to attack. F this one on one shit, man. That's how he's tearing them up. Oh shit. Okay, we do have guns. But, like, why were they waiting one on one, man? Like, gang up on this son bitch. You hope. Oh shit. Did he call his doctor sensei? I guess anybody who's your boss, you're gonna call sensei. I guess. I'm not sure that. I'm not sure I quite heard that correctly. They're actually riding, and you got Okita in the bitch seat on the motorcycle. If you haven't been watching this and you're in Japan or whatever, you're not in America, you may not understand what the bitch seat is. It's the back seat of a motorcycle. That's where the bitch sits. There's a great episode of One Tree. No, not One Tree Hill. King of the Hill. There's a great episode of King of the Hill about that. He didn't want to sit in the bitch seat. Man, there's still this many of them. How many men do you employ? How do you have a profit seeking business when you've got 5,000 people under your employ who are just guards? I don't understand how you're making money. Meanwhile, your wife is dying and you're not there, you dick. Oh, so you don't even care about her. Okay, that clarifies things. Kill this son bitch. Yeah, it didn't work out too well. Can't believe he convinced her. Why would she believe that he was in love with her? Yep. Yeah, bullshit. Oh, okay. So you love her like a pet. Yeah. I love my hammer, right? You dick. I like the lighting because it really shows he's evil. Yeah. Thank you for explaining. I mean, you could have just killed me without explaining, but I appreciate that you took the time to explain. Countless horrible acts. And what would those be? Yeah, I don't agree. You are a demon, but you're gonna die now. Come on, man. I ain't got all day to die here. Yeah, they got her with them. She's the feminine ideal, right? She's sitting there playing with the bug because she's so peaceful and kind, right? Ain't no woman I know gonna be playing with a fucking. Oh, you got me cussing. A bug, man. Not gonna happen. A bird, maybe. You keep dancing back and forth. Why don't you pick a lane here, buddy? Yeah, here we go. That's Akita's bazooka, right? Here we are. It's not just the two of us. Like we got an entire army. What the hell? Yeah, that's right. I guess they rallied everybody from the hospital, right? God damn it. Speaking of bazookas. Oh, so Gentaka's gonna kick his ass specifically. Okay. You know, Kita. Really? You piece of shit. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere, man. Oh shit! I thought for sure that was gonna be Akita. Shake him off. Yeah, damn. Here it is. Here we are. Get him out of here. So where's Akita? He's not on the bitch seat anymore. So you stopped at the grocery store to get some rice crackers, and because you did that, you were late saving my ass. Yep, here we go. This music's going off, by the way. Yeah, that's right. Enjoy that. Take that with you. Well, shit. Take him out. Yeah, that's taking him out, all right. Cutting the entire effing car in half. I think I've talked about this before. I actually had a car catch on fire on me. I was driving and it just caught on fire, right? I had that happen. It never blew up. They don't blow up as much as you think they would. It just burned, but it didn't blow up, you know? It's not made of dynamite. So she's gone, huh? Damn. I'm not sure I thought that they were actually going to follow through with her dying, you know? Figured she'd just be really sick, but she'd hold on, you know? Oh, okay. This is what I thought they would do. She's gonna die, but we're not gonna see it happen. It's weird. The lip sync doesn't seem quite right, but it's in Japanese. It's not like we're listening to it in English and the lip sync doesn't match. So I wonder if the audio track's a little off here. Yep, you chose to leave her. You dick. Don't cry for me, Argentina. What a weird thing to say. I loved looking at your back since you walked away. I guess she means because of where they're going, right? What their mission statement is. Ugh, Jesus, with the mayonnaise. What the hell is wrong with you? It's hard to get a vocal performance like this. They try to be over the top sick. This is just weak. It's really hard to just have a weak performance, right? But she nailed it. Yep. I go die now. So they did show it, huh? Wild. What do they call that one? This is a great two-parter, man. This is a fantastic story. I think it was just two parts. I can't remember. I recorded the rest last week. It may have been three parts. I can't remember. Super spicy rice crackers. Because she likes spicy food. That's right. He picked the correct brand for her, too. Yep. Me too, buddy. Me too. That was a really good story, man. Looks like we got quite a bit here. What is happening here? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. There's nothing happening there. Yeah, like I said, that was really good. Anybody of a certain age is going to have the love loss situation, right? And I had, the one that got away when I was in my 30s. Guess I would have been right around 30, I think. Something like that. And I was in love with a woman, and basically I had to make a choice because she hated the filmmaking life, and she hated like I'd be away, and the hours, and the meetings, and the networking, and everything that went with it. Right, like it was just she was going to have to be a part of it if she was with me, just because of everything it involved. The amount of networking required to be an independent filmmaker back in the early 2000s, it was a lot, right? And so she was going to have to be a part of it. And she hated that lifestyle. She tried it for about a year. She worked on the first couple of film sets. She tried it for about a year. She just didn't like it. She didn't want it. She wanted to be have a normal punch clock, kind of job. Or some, even the architecture job would have been fine because I had my own architecture business back then. AutoCAD drafting, not architecture, but it's in that field. I could draw up plans for somebody to put an extension on their house or build a garage or something. That was my level, right? I wasn't designing entire buildings from the ground up, but I was, there was an opportunity for a freelance business of that, remodeling houses and stuff. People need plans to submit to state, county governments, and city governments and stuff, so that they be authorized to do what they want to do. So there's a big business in that. And so I was starting to make money in that business, and I pivoted to filmmaking. And she wanted me to stay in the architecture thing. And so basically, I had a choice. I could have her, who was the love of my life, or I could have the business, the other love of my life, the filmmaking, storytelling. And I chose filmmaking. And then as the years went on, especially when I just wasn't hitting in filmmaking, it became harder and harder to do it. And I'd lost a lot of. I invested my own personal money in filmmaking. Wasn't working out, and then dad died, and I basically lost the business. It burned my entire networking. I spent 18 years building up an investor network, and it burned it to the ground because Dad died, and I just had my head up my ass and didn't return calls and emails and stuff. And basically, I had made promises we were going to do things, and people had already committed money. They hadn't given it to me, but they had dedicated money, and there's all these promises and stuff. And I just disappeared for 4 months because Dad died. And even before that, I was taking care of him, and that was taking all my time. So by the time I got my head on my ass, I had lost my entire investment. They didn't want to talk to me anymore. They were done with me. And so at that point, I realized I was at the end of my filmmaking career. There was no coming back from that. I would have to. I was too old to rebuild my network from the ground up. At that point, I was like, well, I guess I started to believe I should have just chosen the woman instead of the job, right? It was a calling. I believe filmmaking was a calling. I really believe that. And so I became convinced that I should have picked the woman, the love, over the personal love over the vocation love. And I was convinced. I was like, well, if I could go back in time, I would make the other choice. And something crazy happened. After about almost exactly 20 years after I had last spoken to this woman, she got in touch with me. And we started talking again, and we talked for about a year via email and a few phone calls. And she was married, but she was unhappy, and I was like at least open to seeing if we could rekindle something, right? And over the course of this year of talking to each other, I realized she was just not the person for me. She was not. I still love her. I still love her to this day, right? I have a deep affection and fondness for her. And we didn't have a fight or anything this year. We never argued, right? Because we always got along, right? So it wasn't that. It was just I realized in talking to her and conversating for long emails and stuff, just rather than nostalgia rose-colored glasses, actually interacting with her and talking to her again in real time, I realized she was not somebody I would have been happy with for my entire life. She was not the one who got away. I had made the right choice, not because filmmaking gave me a better life, but because we were just too different, right? I'm such a weird person. I'm such an independent person. I don't think I really belong with anybody in that kind of way, right? Where it's just where you have to concede and you have to give in and you have to, accommodate the other person. Because when you're in love with somebody and you're sharing your life with somebody, you have to be open and you have to explain yourself, right? And you have to, like, your life is an open book, and you have to explain, okay, this is why I do this. This is why I want to do this. This is where I want to go, and this is why I want to go. And I'm not the kind of person that really wants to do that. I don't want to explain myself. I always know why I make my decisions, but because of how I grew up, and this is already too long, so I won't go into it, but like explaining myself, I had to explain myself a bunch as a kid, forcibly, under force of fist. Like, explain yourself, I'm going to beat your ass. So I've gotten to a point where I just don't want to, So I will if I have to, like, especially, like, with investors and stuff, I would, right? But, like, so I don't know that I really belong with anybody, right? And I'm content with that. I'm fine. I'm not sitting there lonely or anything. Or, oh my God. But she was the one person I would have, okay, I'll give it another shot. I'll give romance one more chance. She was that one person I would have. Because I'd never stopped thinking about her for 20 years. And then I realized in rekindling a conversation with her, we don't talk anymore, but for that year that we talked, I realized I had made the right choice. I got closure in something I never thought I was ever going to get closure on. You very rarely get an opportunity to make the same choice, and I made the same choice again. For a second time, I chose my work, this time my YouTube channel, over her. Which told me I was never supposed to be with her. I didn't belong with her. And, she kind of made the choice to stay with her husband, too. So it wasn't just one-sided. It was a mutual thing. We realized it just wasn't going to work, right? So it's so interesting to me that that's something I never thought I'd get closure. That was part of my story. We all have our story of our life. Okay, this happened when we were kids, and looking back, this is what should have happened, and these are the mistakes my parents made, and this is the mistake I made with my brothers, and we have this story of our life, and it's just pretty much set in stone. And that was part of my story. That was my tragic, oh my God, I chose my work over my love. And just it could be a samurai film. It could be the backstory of an anime. They do the flashbacks, and you see him walking away as she cries, and kind of like this, right? This reminded me of this quite a bit. He's walking away towards filmmaking. There's a city called filmmaking. You see the big words over the city. He's walking towards filmmaking. She's staying behind. She chose not to go with him, and she's sobbing. And this is part of his tragic backstory. And he's such a tragic figure. And let's all love this character because of this sad thing that happened in his past, right? That felt like that was my backstory. This was my tragic shit, right? So to have that taken away from me after all these years, and to be like, wow, I actually made the right choice. I had spent 20 years regretting something that I shouldn't have regretted. It's crazy. It was so freeing. It freed me. Now, it makes me less cool because I don't have the tragic backstory anymore, but, we can't all be anime characters. So, that's a deeply personal, sometimes we have deeply personal reasons why we love a story. This is my reason. This is probably going to go down as my favorite two-parter, my favorite story of the entire series. Because it's for personal reasons. We have personal reasons, subjective reasons why we love things. There's objective reasons where something is objectively good or something is objectively bad, entertainment-wise. But we're always going to have that subjective reason why we love this thing. Subjective reason why we love this shitty soap opera, or we love this shitty, Xanadu movie. It gave me so much comfort as a kid. I can never hate that movie, even though it's one of the worst effing things ever made. God, that movie is trash. But I love it. I unabashedly love it because for deeply personal subjective reasons. So yeah, I love this story. And yet, I've already pre-recorded something halfway through. That'll be why I also hate it. So I'm going to go ahead and hand off to that. So I wanted you to know, first of all, how much I love it. And now you're going to hear why I hate it. Weird, man. It's weird, I'm telling you. Unlike the other asshole. I don't like that they're softening him up, man. What I was going to say here was this may be one of only two examples I have ever come across where more character development is a bad thing for a character. Okita works as a shallow character. He was perfect as a shallow character. I loved him as a random psycho who looks like a pretty boy but is completely psychotic and has no empathy for anybody and will try to kill anybody at any time and has a particular beef with a couple of people for some indiscernible reason. Probably some imagined slight that happened in his head. Like, you did something one day in the lunchroom and he will never forgive you for it. And it was like you stepped in a half a step in front of me. You both came in the room at the same time, but he was like a half a step ahead of you. And rather than just waiting, let you pass him, he went in front of you. The guy went in front of you, and you will never forgive him for that slight. Some of these psychotic people, they seize on this one thing, this one sign of disrespect, or this one thing where I don't like you, or this one thing where I should have afforded you something and I didn't, and they don't even know it happened, and you hate them for the rest of your lives, right? There are people like this. I've encountered people like this. They just seize upon something because they need something to hate and they need somebody to hate, right? And so he's came across that kind of psycho. He's going to pull his bazooka out and blow up half a city block at any time. And I just loved him. He was absolutely perfect as that shallow character. You don't want any character development. You don't want to ever know anything about his backstory. You don't know why he's pissed off at various people. You don't want to know anything. He's just perfect as a shallow character. The only other person who's like that I've ever seen in media is the Joker. You don't want to know anything about the Joker. The more you know about the Joker, the less cool he is. He's an agent of chaos. He's an archetype. He's an avatar. He's like, You don't ever. That's what Gotham. The mistake Gotham made was trying to give him characterization. And some of these movies and stuff, the problem they've had is trying to give him characterization. Just the one thing Nolan got right was the Joker. I think because he had 3 different backstories for his scars, and he probably had more. Right? He had one more he was gonna say, and Batman wouldn't let him finish. Right? So this character Okita is the Joker. And as much as I love this 2-part story and I love everything they're doing, and now you feel for him and empathetic, it detracts from what I loved about him. I didn't want to know shit. I just wanted him as a shallow psycho with these imagined beefs that he had with these people. Now you understand why he doesn't like that dude. That he keeps trying to kill him. Like he dreams of killing him and shit, right? Like that was funny when he was dreaming of killing him, and we didn't know why. Like it would be one of the most petty reasons possible. Now it's an actual reason, and to me that detracts from the character. I don't know if I'm making any sense. He was my favorite character just about anything I'd ever seen because they didn't explain jack shit. He is just a psycho. That's all he is. Yeah, and now he's less than. But like I said, this is a great 2-part story, and you're supposed to evolve characters. You're supposed to give them depth. You're supposed to explain things. I think there's sometimes maybe once in your life with one franchise, one continuing story, maybe where you don't. You make a concerted choice from the beginning. We will never explain jack shit. That's if I had to do it over again, I would do that, right? Like I never created a character like that. I should have, because man, he's been a real delight in this series. But like I said, he's as good as this 2-part episode has been, and I haven't finished it yet. But as good as it's been so far, he's I won't see him the same way from now on, which is too bad.